Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Hey, look, I got two pieces of legislation that I wanted to talk to you about. It's really their companion bills. One's on the House, one's on the Senate side. And this information was brought back to my attention by YouTube handle Life is Short. So thank you so much, Life is Short. I really appreciate it. Look, this legislation is geared toward the survivors of veterans or service members, and it's really, really important. It has to do with the dependency indemnity compensation and making some really strong changes to that. So if you're not aware, there's been some pushes for the dependency indemnity compensation in years past. And for those that don't know how that works, the dependency indemnity compensation is essentially like best way I could describe it is kind of like a life insurance policy that's paid out like an annuity on a monthly basis, right? Or on a monthly basis. One of the qualifiers, now there's two main qualifiers into dependency indemnity compensation. One is the veteran has been 100% rated for a period of 10 years and then passes away of something, anything, doesn't matter. So the qualifier there is veteran's been 100% for 10 years. The other avenue that's the most common is veteran passes away due to a service-connected condition. Now here's the caveat. Service-connected condition or a service-connected condition, and many people don't talk about this. A service-connected condition is a contributing cause to death. Now the example that I like to give here is veteran passes away from a heart attack. Death certificate says heart attack. But the veteran has no kind of heart-related service-connected conditions. However, the veteran has some circulatory issues that they were service-connected for. The spouse goes and gets the death certificate amended and has the circulatory issues added on as a contributing cause to death. There is a section on the death certificate for contributing causes to death. So now the circulatory issue is listed on the death certificate as a contributing cause to the heart attack, which was the cause of death. The VA views those two things the same. Contributing cause and cause are both qualifiers, and very important to know. So that's the two main drivers into this program. So, whether you're a veteran who just wants to make sure that your family is taken care of from a survivor standpoint, important this legislation gets pushed through. If you're a survivor, this is obviously important legislation as well. So again, the two pieces of legislation, I'm going to dive into a little press release on it to share with you to kind of give a little highlight, and we'll go from there. So the two pieces of legislation, again, HR 1083 and the Senate bill is 414. So when you reach out to your congressional members, whether it's Senate or House, and let them know that you support this either by a phone call or by you go to their website, contact us, and you can put in like a little email kind of box. You can reference those pieces of legislation. So moving on, we have here a press release by Congresswoman Jahana Hayes out of the 5th District of Connecticut. And I wanted to just read this to you because it just kind of gives a highlight of this legislation on the House side. So here we go. This came out in February of 2023, so it's old, but if you've never heard of these pieces of legislation, then it's new, right? So let's jump into it. Today, Congresswoman Jahana Hayes and Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick led the House introduction of bipartisan legislation to adjust monthly benefits for family members and survivors of veterans who lost their lives in service to the United States. Now, that also means a disabled veteran who passed away. So it's not just service members. You could have been out. So Senate Veterans Affairs Committee Chair John Tester and Senator John Boozman are leading the companion bill in the U.S. Senate. The Dependency and Indemnity Compensation, DIC, the rate of compensation paid to survivors of service members who die in the line of duty or veterans who die from service-related injuries or diseases, has been minimally adjusted since its establishment in 1993. The Bipartisan Caring for Survivors Act of 2023 will bring parity to payments for DIC recipients, which currently lag behind other federal program payments by nearly 12%. I'm committed to honoring our service members and by ensuring their families can access the benefits they have earned, said Congresswoman Hayes. The outdated policies surrounding the VA dependency and indemnity compensation have created unbearable stress for surviving families. The Caring for Survivors Act increases those benefits, reduces barriers to access, and lessens financial burden placed on veterans, service members, and the families they have left behind. Congress must continue to keep our promise to serve members and support their families. Families of loved ones of the veterans who have lost their lives should not be burdened with the worries about their financial security. An increase in dependency and indemnity compensation benefits is long overdue, said Congressman Fitzpatrick. The Bipartisan Caring for Survivors Act will give better resources and care to loved ones of those who have lost their lives in service to our nation. I am proud to be a co-lead on this important legislation. I will always defend the earned benefits and economic security of our military families who have lost their loved ones in the line of duty, said Senator Tester. The families have endured the unimaginable, and giving them more economic certainty is something everyone could support. That's why I'm introducing a bipartisan bill to fix outdated policies and bring surviving spouses and their family members' earned benefits in line with other federal programs, ensuring survivors receive the benefits they need and have earned. We must better care for our loved ones of troops who have made the ultimate sacrifice, said Senator Boozman. Updating benefits for military survivors to match those provided by other federal programs will help us continue to live up to the promises we made to our service members and their families. Under current law, dependency indemnity compensation restricts benefits for survivors if the veteran was disabled for less than 10 years before his or her death. The Caring for Survivors Act would reduce the time frame a veteran needs to be rated totally disabled from 10 years to 5 years, broadening eligibility to more survivors. So again, what that means is that if a veteran was rated for 100% for 5 years, then their connection to service connection piece falls off. It's not needed. There does not need to be a service connection nexus to death. So this would reduce it from 10 years to 5 years, much more reasonable time frame to be rated 100% prior to death, to be able to pass away of anything and be able to pass on these benefits. So please support these two bills with your congressional representatives, both on the House and the Senate side. Thank you again so much for watching, and thank you to YouTube handle Life is Short. I really appreciate it. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.